Hello. Oh my god, my hair is still so short since I've been fucked up. Will it ever grow back? Who knows? Hello, Selton. Damn, Selton, you're like here every time. You're always the first person. It's been like this, feels like forever. It's kinda crazy. Right. This is what we have for multiplayer right now. I think it's very funny. The panning in multiplayer is all wrong. I don't like the borders we have in the multiplayer mode. Like, it just feels wrong, you know what I mean? I think there needs to be something else. Hello, tiny man. Okay, I'll also program this feature. How does multi run so far on N64? It runs decent. Why are you bald? I didn't want to pay my barber, and my barber got so mad that she just took off all my hair. This is what it runs like on N64. It's a little bit laggy. It's like 25 FPS per screen here, so you do lose a little bit of speed. But this is before any optimization, so there's a good chance this can still go full frame rate. Yeah. A little unfortunate. Do we have any OST wishes today? So for side levels, we actually have to think what we're gonna work on today. The fact Lawrence was out of place on Monument and Bunny Marshall shows that Monument was not planned from the start in the first place. What? I mean, yes, it was not planned from the first place, but also it's like completely unoptimized. They're being unfair. The camps work for Luigi, yeah. Right now it's computing all the animations and everything to render twice, and it has infinite drawing distance. So in multiplayer, I will just have to reduce the drawing distance. Bald case is jarring as fuck. I'm not bald! Look at this, I have hair! Pokemon Snap OST is a good one. So we canceled Bowser's yacht. We had to. Then we have the Wingcape base level and the Cloudcape base level, which Caleb is working on. Which means that Voiceville is working on. And then the Planetary Gravity that Sam is working on. So all the 4-star levels that are remaining, someone else is working on them right now. But we can work on the final Bowser level. Let me just turn this back into single player. What the hell? Okay, I know what's wrong. And actually, if we don't end stream, you don't want to know. Oh, it's so bad. Trust me. I saw Mario and Luigi flash there for a second. Did you guys see that too? Why did they flash for a second? Oh well. Oh right! This is the entrance. I forgot entirely about this huge fucking drill. Alright, let's save the game. We have to plan the final Bowser level today. And we have to put a warp to it there. Okay, the final Bowser level was going to be at under the island. It was going to be Bowser drilling into the core of the island. And it's basically a big drill tunnel. Maybe part 12? 12, we don't use 13. When was the last time you used SketchUp? Probably 2019. What could crumble away as you progress? Much work does Biobag have left on their part? Still quite a bit, and it's been a while since we finished the last rework. It really looks like we're gonna finish way before Biobag at this rate. Which is unfortunate. Apparently not what? Has this starting right now or no? Yes, this has starting right now. I'm a bit worried that, well, actually, we can just visualize this a little bit. So this is Hex10. You can do something like this for the web size. It should be, what, 10? 280 divided by 20, 64, Hex10. Because you're not going to help more on it. Here's... Sorry you lost all your hair in your poker match. It was a tragedy. Now, Biobag definitely still wants to work on his project. He's just busy with other things and can't work too much on it, I guess. important. Yes, I hit the jackpot. Sorry for the goofy grammar. My grandma is also very goofy. We can do it like that. This number here. 102. That's hex 070. That should cover the entire warplane. We should be able to work with this. So, what is this? This is Overworld. This is the last part of the Overworld, and this is the entrance to the final Bowser level. So today we're going to be planning out the final Bowser level. Yes, those are hitboxes I just drew. I just needed a visualization of the hitboxes so that I could make sure the entire thing was going to be covered. You are going to play as Mario in the entire game, unless you pick Luigi, in which case you're going to play as Luigi. I mean, you rated the speed level by 90 meters because they end up vertical? No. What do you mean? Well, the coordinate system is flipped, so maybe that's what you mean? In that case, the answer is yes. Yeah, I needed a custom level script comment for the overworld levels so that I could actually load all the data I need like once instead of every time you enter a new part of the overworld. I love this level. This level is very unfinished in terms of visuals. Fireback still has to go over it. And it still has some collision that's unfinished. But it's such a fun concept. Look at that man, an origami thwomp. That guy is just a painted egg. Targets, the ruler, everything here is so cool. The paper snow, the paper mountains. We're on a desk in a house from a toad. And we'll just paint the eggs. No. Anyway, for the Bowser level, let's make some notes here. God damn, this is a 5,000 line document at this point. This one's done. Oh, We already have notes here. Bowser's drill hole. Did they follow a similar part to the Mario 64 ones? Or yes, they do actually. Super Mario 29 was the best. Mario 67. Do you think of that one? 3 after Mario 64. Yeah, so the hole is full of construction stuff and enemies. Okay, then we're thinking like a long hole. There's fog in the distance. There's maybe like red construction things everywhere that you run on, like metal grates. And then if you're on part 6 near the roots of the Super Happy Tree. Okay. Bowser steals the heart of the island and transforms into Yoshi Bowser. Yoshi Bowser is a Yoshi like Bowser, slightly bigger and more brutal. Afterwards, the world's built, the rain starts, Bowser jumps out of the cave, leaving a hole at the top. The cave quickly fills with water. Mario swims up, ends up in part 9 of the hole. Okay, that's a boss fight already. He's melted. Okay, so basically only these are actually part of the level. Are you like way behind? What are you answering to? Okay, we need something to make this interesting. Have an estimate when these titles are done? Not at all. Not even close. We're gonna... Probably what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish multiplayer after the Bowser level here. Before the 4 side levels are finished. And then we're gonna go through the entire game and like fix all the bugs that we find. With multiplayer as well. And then we're just waiting for Biobag reworks. How's your girl feel about you getting a buzz cut? Do you know who gave me the buzz cut? Zaina took the razor and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut this to 11. And then she set it to 0 and she just buzzed off all my hair. And I asked her, why did you do that? And she said, because I hate you. She's the one. Why would she do that to me, man? I got no hair. Okay. We could have this be based on Kamek. So there's a section at the end of Yoshi's Island here. This is not what I was thinking of. Is it the last level? Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Yeah, like this. So we could have an entire tunnel like this, with Kamek popping up, dithering out, shooting these things at you. Would we want it to be an auto-scroller? I don't think we would. Honestly, I think this mechanic could be fun enough to stand on its own. Imagine just a really long tunnel, maybe with some windings. Maybe you slide into the beginning and you run on all this construction stuff while Kamek is in front shooting these energy balls at you that you have to dodge. Would Kamek be like a boss fight? No, I don't think she should be a boss fight. I don't think this is interesting enough for a final boss fight or boss level yet. Is the whole castle just this? Zero scene. Oh no, let's not start with this again. This looks really cool though, the way it's all laid out. Yeah, Kamek would be like in front of the player and shooting from there. If she follows the player, she would be attacking from somewhere where you can't see her, which would be very frustrating. If we're even going with the Kamek idea. I'm a bit worried that this is too repetitive. Am I not streaming on Twitch today? Oh, no, never mind. Twitch is in chat. I wish I still had like the overworld map somewhere. The PSD file. I think GIMP can actually open these. If you would have to sacrifice 2x of CPU power on N64 for 1.5x more powerful GPU and 1.5x more RAM, the CPU. Yeah, definitely get rid of the CPU. I don't even use half the CPU. Okay, so the overworld is currently, or the entrance to the Bowser level is in this part of the overworld, and Bowser canonically digs from here to here with the drill. So we could have the biomes in the overworld kind of have like an impact on this. There's a very big part of Yoshi's from Yoshi. They save Yoshi's. Something's broken in my YouTube chat today, because nothing anyone says makes sense, or I'm having a stroke. Was an artifact in this game I was thinking the final boss should be a giant mechanical Yoshi. That's also a fun idea. I was thinking though that Bowser, the story of the game is that Bowser wants the heart of the island. Now we could make anything with the heart of the island. A giant mechanical Yoshi might actually be more fitting than Yoshi Bowser. I'm actually reconsidering the Yoshi Bowser idea. His giant mechanical Yoshi would be so fun. Well, giant mechanical Bowser actually would make more sense, and actually we already have a giant mechanical Bowser. It's kind of a retreaded idea. That's interesting, Razorblade. If you can just overclock a CPU like that and not suffer any consequences. Is it really overclocking? Also because usually then hardest Mario, the egg, and then of Kamek Battle for... Another one of those broken YouTube comments. The Heart of Akulan and Morrowind. I am not familiar with the Heart of Akulakan or Morrowind. Giant Bowser idea is overused, that's true. think the drill hole idea is fine. We just need a mechanic to actually make it work. Let's look at some drill holes. Drill tunnel. Oh, there is a drill tunnel in the Digimon World game that we could maybe look at. Was Digimon World just the... It is. Digimon World is the first thing that shows up. Remake a cave castle, in my opinion, when Bowser is and use the Goombas as shields like Mario. No. Oh, we could have hanging sections here. So, how do you call it? The bars. Framing? Do I really want this mechanic to be in the game? I feel like so far we have not used the hanging at all, and to just use it in the final level and never before feels very wrong. Yes, Randomar, it does make sense. But there is the issue I have with that, which is that we have a giant Bowser mech that you fight before, so another mech might feel a bit repetitive. At the same time, maybe that also makes a lot of sense because it's foreshadowing in a way. One of Bowser have 3 characters you do areas based on the levels from throughout the game. Oh, we could totally have the drill tunnel be intercepted with magic rooms. Do you know the last arc of Dragon Ball with the ship where you go down and like Babidi sends them to different planets with his magic? Like that could work. You know, the room with Shadow Link that disappears and then it reappears? Like, imagine it fading out like that and now you're in a different room. It wasn't Bowser but some corrupted hearts that tosses Bowser aside. No, that's cringe. It's the story of Smash Bros. Brawl. I think that might literally be the story of Brawl with the same character too. Or was it Ganondorf and Brawl? I have 2 videos ready right now for the Case N64 channel, but I need to get approval from the sponsors to upload it. Shed. This is the Zoot Zoot Zoo, or the Varus Wildlife World shirt. Let's see, which levels would even be good for Kamek to teleport you to? I'm not sure sleeping. Most of it is already finished. Let's see, course 1. Recognizable, but not very dangerous. Course 2 with the Shy Guys, kinda works. Course 3 with the minecart, should work very well. Course 4's got nothing. The Ghost Ship has a lot. Koopa Carnival has nothing. Koopa Wave Cove, not sure. Which one's this? This is Koopa Carnival. Oh, All Alone Bubble Dome. And then, Lofty Lumber Leaps, there's one level I skipped. Jurassic Jungle. Oh, with the T-Rex. Jurassic Jungle is very good, actually. No, we're not brainstorming fight ideas, White Dog. Is it 11 bosses Ulrich? I mean, that'd be a good place to teleport to, yeah. I definitely don't want this to be a boss rush or anything like that. think it would have to be platforming challenges that Kamek teleports you to based on other worlds, if that is what we're going with. And how many would we want? Maybe 4? Come to think of it, there's the Bowser 2 level with like 8 different ships that each have 1 red coin in. Should probably reduce that back down to 4 or something. Let me take a look at the Bowser 2 level actually. I could make myself a boss in this game, but I will not do that. It's an N64, so there isn't really a loading time. Most of that loading time is actually decompression. Fun fact. What Banjo-Kazooie did with the Gingers was the opposite of Bushras. Didn't Banjo-Kazooie have the quiz? Oh my god, look at this. I actually made 8 areas for the second Bowser level. That's insane. We probably need to delete 4 of these. Realistically, for this to work at all. Pretty sure I need to delete 4. That's fine. Do I also have 8 ships? I do. Oh my god, I put so much work into this, man. No wonder this level took half a year. We're not doing that again. No way. Hello, Buzzard Chris. We're not putting Bowser in the IDF. Because Yoshis are in this game, can't they help Bowser by Goombas jumping on the Yoshi, specifically the Fire Yoshi, to spit fire on you? I have no idea what you're talking about. There is a good chance the game will be translated into French, because we have Biotech on the team. And he actually... I think he's learned translation in college, and he is French. So if this is just drill tunnel segment, magical room, drill tunnel segment, magical room, 4 times in a row, will that work? I will not be releasing a physical version of the game, but I'm sure there will be Etsy sellers making illegal copies that I have nothing to do with. There might be a German translation. But you might be saying, why can't we have free will Yoshis act like Gingers did in boss fight with children? We can, but we are not planning the boss fight right now. I'm not gonna be discussing anything about the boss fight right now. Unless it's like a really good idea, or a completely different concept. Still thinking about the magical room idea. If we go with 4 magical rooms that Kamek sends you through, I guess we'd have like a dialogue there. Kamek's like, oh, you think you're so slick? Well, let me send you to one of the worst places on the island, see if you can make it out of there. And I think one candidate place for that would definitely be the T-Rex area in Jurassic World here. We could just literally send Mario to this area. Imagine if Kamek just sent you here. But then what, you just have to do the area again? That's kinda lame, isn't it? It's Pokemon Snap that we're listening to. You wish to send him to the world's Mario gets teleported to. What does that mean? Our site level's not already world's Mario gets teleported to? A juiced up, yeah, like he would enhance the T-Rex. Like he does in Yoshi's Island. I think I like that. Durch den Monsun, hinter die Zeit, gegen den Sturm, am Abgrund entlang. I think making this a red evil T-Rex would be fun. I think that should work, to just enchant them. Wait, I just had the idea. I know how we can make this final level interesting. What if this was the one level you got to ride a Yoshi in? At the start of the level, there'd be like a Yoshi joining you and being like, yeah, I'm gonna help you kick down Bowser's ass, and then the whole level you just ride a Yoshi. And that's what we based this mechanic on. It fits because the second level has a Yoshi ride on your head. I did not make box art for the game though. I think just making Mario ride a Yoshi here for the final level is the easiest way, and that we will be able to get creative with it. What would the Yoshi be able to do? Tongue? Now there's one problem with this, and that is if the final level is just like, oh fuck you, here's completely different controls for you to play the game with. It doesn't feel very good. That guy wants to eat me. Amazing is a post-game reward as well, that's true. What can we really do with a Yoshi? We can give him the flutter jump movement. We can make Mario jump off the Yoshi. We could also mix and match the sections. We could have sections with Yoshi and sections without Yoshi. What if the only way to end the section with Yoshi is to jump off Yoshi's back? And the first time it happens, Yoshi says something like, "It's okay, Mario, go on without me. Just use the Z button to jump off my back." I have not sleeping. I was never interested in 2D. So we could have like 3 sections or 4 sections with and without Yoshi each. I think horsey tank controls are not fun. It's a bit of a problem here. I don't know, how do we make controlling the Yoshi fun is the problem, I guess. He needs to be different, and he needs to be not complex. And he still needs to be fun. He could probably kind of work like a kart racer. Hello, Holly. We're currently thinking about the final Bowser level. Whoa, what the fuck? That's not good. Wait, some of my levels just crash now? Weird. Just make Yoshi kind of like Mario Sunshine. What does that mean? Yoshi's Sunshine. Yeah, but like, do you only just one-to-one copy to physics? Which aspects of this are you talking about? Obviously I can make a guy you can just control with the C buttons and then A jumps, and then maybe A again does a triple jump or something. And the flutter jump, and the lake. But it's just Yoshi. He jumps high and flutters. I don't think that would be fun. Especially to just throw in a completely new way of controlling a character near the end of the game. I think we need to dumb it down. We probably shouldn't throw off to play with different physics. So you just be like a visual upgrade to Mario and you run faster? I don't think that'd be good. The music is similar to standard Mario 64, it's slightly different. Was Epona made less fun by her control scheme? I'm not sure. Epona also has the advantage that you play with Epona the entire game. We only have like 5 minutes with Yoshi. There's not. I'm thinking Yoshi could kind of work like a race car. I think that'd be the most fun way for Yoshi to control. So he turns slowly. The slower you go, the faster he can turn. And when he runs, he just starts turning slow, like so. And he can jump. And you have to like jump over Kamek's attacks. And then with the Z button you can hop off or something. And you have to chase down Kamek then. So I'm thinking right now the first part would be a long tunnel. There'd be Kamek here. She'd notice you and she'd say something like, "Oh, Mario's here, I'm gonna close the next gate," and then Yoshi comes by and says, "Hop on me, we're gonna catch her." And you just race at her while she shoots these fireballs. And it's more or less shell physics actually. We use the Koopa shell serving mechanic for it. We wouldn't be using that exact mechanic, but I think the controls should be similar. It's very similar to the Dash Pepper level, I guess. But Yoshi themed. It fits, it seems very thematically fitting. I'm just worried that it's gonna be weird that Yoshi just all of a sudden appears like that. The most difficult course is Roller Coaster 4, because it just wasn't fun for a long time. Like a minecart section? Yeah, similar. Do you think about race car Yoshis? That'd be weird to crash them. Yeah. Well, yeah, if it's like a race car, it wouldn't resemble Mario too much. I forgot he even was in 64 Land, to be honest. Dancing minigame? No. But if you access the playable Yoshi in your world when Bowser Free becomes visible, you can play with it beforehand. That's true, Holly. Not doing quick time events. I think if we go with Race Car Yoshi, we need Yoshi to be available early as well. And we can do that. You can easily go to some existing or add more side levels with Yoshi in it. I don't want to do that. But there actually is a plan for one side level that has Yoshi in it. It's the one Boyson is working on. You'd be on Yoshi's back and racing through the courses. So you would have one chance to ride Yoshi beforehand. Like, well, I guess his feet would go crazy and he'd be very fast. There's an actual racing Yoshi that you make friends with before in the game. Yes. I don't know why my overworld's crashing now when I exit the course. That is a new bug. The Pokemon Mario Galaxy? Yeah. What the hell? Can I still go to that overworld? Is it because of the Mario and Luigi icon that shows up for a second? I think multiplayer broke the overworld for a second. That sucks. Crash? Yes, that's a crash screen. Okay, what I was gonna show, basically, we already have one side level that will have a controllable Yoshi in it. This Yoshi, yeah, exactly, there's Racing Yoshi foreshadowing. But it only happens once. I think it needs to happen like 3 times beforehand. Would it still not feel random? Unless you made the level only unlock once you have the Racing Yoshi. I think that could work very well. Like, make the Race Yoshi a requirement for going to the final level here. Maybe only being shown once and then coming back up later. The problem is, if we want any level of player mastery over this mechanic, I think that needs to happen more than once. Or it needs to be required. Because right now I worry that people will not engage with it at all, and then just be whacked by it. Yes, it is Sleeping Zen. Well, he has multiple levels of his race already. The thing is, we need to make this a requirement then. So I guess we need to figure out a way to make sure that the player talks to the Yoshi Racer before they get to the final overworld. Or not just talks to them, but also beats the mission. Oh my god, this doesn't lead to the overworld. Will this lead to the overworld? That's a collision issue. Lose it. Oh, I never even added the exit warp. Yeah, sure, it's supposed to give you infinite coins, whatever. What if boss of fight is you and Yoshi resurrected when a slide is dynamically changing track? No. Are there any other interesting Yoshis we meet? Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory Yoshi, I guess. There's a bunch of interesting Yoshis, I think. Wait. This looks like a fun. Not common zero models and maybe it's not a bug actually. I forgot how the overworld level command works. Foreshadowing could include Razor Yoshi being highlighted as the game's openings and maybe Yoshi had name drop him. I mean, that's one thing, but we also need to make this guy a requirement for unlocking the final boss level. How do we tie that in thematically, I guess? Dry Yoshi? Let me try other ways to get it into Zoro right now. I definitely need to fix that. Some parts are perfectly accessible. And that one went fine. What the hell? Let's look at this crash. Update default camera. What's crashing is the camera. Augmented to virtual. It appears to be this part here that's crashing. We're hitting a wall triangle somewhere. And the wall triangle is an object, and the object is 0. Or not 0, but rather some invalid nonsense here. So we have invalid collision triangles. What is this, Holly? Better not be some bullshit.
Eat grilled chicken. Instead of candy, eat grilled chicken.
Okay, enough of this. Reason that okay, I'm just confused. I'm just gonna ignore all comments that I don't understand from now on. You guys will have to put a little bit more effort into your messages. Points for that. Okay, well, there's your review. We got into some weird music here. Any new OST wishes? Let's do the Pokemon Snap 2 OST. No, we do set the object to null. Okay, yeah, there's some sort of data corruption going on here. That is very unfortunate. We had a similar data corruption in the overworld before, but I did fix it at the time. Yeah, that was definitely a broken triangle. Wait, could it be that because I added the textures for multiplayer, we're actually out of RAM genuinely this time? We might just be out of RAM. Was that to be multi-stage boss fights for added epicness? I think so too. Ah, here's the Racer Yoshi. But he's not broken yet. I'm just not using overlays. No, we can just remove some wasteful parts. We don't need to make a dramatic change like that. We also still have like all these useless collision triangles here, so there are some really cheap optimizations we can do. Okay, I think I like that idea enough, now that I've molded over. We're gonna have this guy here. He's gonna be our second main character, I think, in the final Bowser level. So throughout the game you work on saving the Yoshis. And some of the Yoshis to interact with. Now what if in the final overworld, what we can do... Right here you're supposed to enter the final boss level. We can make it so that you can only enter this if you have the blue Yoshi somehow. We might need some sort of logical justification for that in the world. Or we could have the player go here and just lose. Would that be more powerful if you just made the player enter and just lose instantly because they don't have a Yoshi to run fast with? The Yoshi race out of mandatory level was read at cutscene. Directing to level entrance, maybe it's triggered when you try to enter the boss very early. I mean, yes, there's many ways to do this. I'm thinking of the logical justification in world right now. We're not talking about the actual fight yet. Would you only have to beat the easy version of the Yoshi race? I think probably yes. I think that should be enough of a tutorial to the Yoshi racing mechanic. Well, out you might be rigged to not boot an China card. I kind of want to flash in blank with a Joey 64. There is a chance that yes. It's a bit of both, Jigsaw. Oh, we could totally have this guy just be here telling you about how the door needs both the power of the stars and you to ram it real fast or something. That's a bit stupid. Do you see why it's too dangerous to go in the level? Then at the instant death to drive the point home to players if they enter without Yoshi. Yes. That could kind of work. Maybe you go in there once and you instantly die and the Yoshi's next to you, like, oh, you need to be faster. I don't think you can do this alone, Mario. You need to find someone to race with you. And that's why you do the Yoshi Racer tutorial? Actually, yeah, that kind of sets Mario on a whole side quest. I kind of like that. You know, that reminds me of the Paper Mario games. Now, not only do you need the stars, but you also need some other item to find and get to the final level. But doesn't this feel a bit like blue balling the player? If we let the player go in there, and then at the end, like, they can't actually do it yet. It feels a little not great to me. Alternatively, we don't want the player up to the Yoshi mechanic beforehand, and they just learn it here. But the final level is not a great place for a tutorial. We do some of it on RTYI, yeah. RTYI has a lot more character interaction. We have around 4 times as much dialogue as Mario 64. That feels like a trap island. But that also doesn't solve the issue. The original reason we wanted Yoshi in there is because it gives us a mechanic around which we can design the level. So without a mechanic to design the level around, like the Yoshi, it's going to be generic. And I don't want the final level to be generic. Also thematically, the idea of Yoshi helping Mario here is just kind of nice. That's also true, Razorblade. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. When I think about it, the idea of riding a Yoshi is probably something that players will fantasize about the whole time they're playing this game. And I have no problem being forgiving with it. It's enough if the final boss is difficult-ish. When I say difficult, I still mean easy. Yeah, we could just have the race always join you. And then have it be a somewhat easy course. Do you just ride the whole time? How long do you ride? 2 minutes? Roughly? And you follow Kamek. Kamek shoots at you. You run behind her. Penalty for falling down is dying or respawning. And you have to wait down and switch to open the door. No, that's a lame mechanic. A lot of games do it, and I understand why they do it, but I don't think that has ever been fun in any game ever. It's one of those mechanics you add because you have to, not because you want. I'm thinking we could have a bunch of these tunnels. We could just like a long shaft, and then maybe there's like a street up, and it goes crazy to the sides and all around, and you have to follow this. Could be like a Super Yoshi of some kind. He could be interesting halfway through the level itself in a prison cell because he's an actual threat to Bowser's operation. There could be. But imagine you go halfway through this level with your boy, and then you see the Super Yoshi. Would you really ditch your boy? No, you wouldn't. He's your ride or die, man. So that means it's more early, and when you try to enter instant death happens, and then Yoshi sends you on your side quest. No. That's too evil. Instead of Racer Yoshi? Oh, just a Super Yoshi? No, I want it to be... Well, it could be, yeah. Yeah? I think that could... Yeah, maybe that makes sense. The first room of this is just kinda... Kamek getting away from you, laughing at you because you're so slow. But then there's a jail cell with the Super Yoshi, and you unlock him, and then you just go on a race with him to catch Kamek. Yeah, what if we make it look futile for Mario until we find the Yoshi? Mario does not beat Yoshi in any race here. I have said from the very beginning Mario Star, that's kind of how we'll do the boss fight, or the level. And then you just pasted the same message 8 times. Finding a problem to make the Yoshi go faster. There's a bit of an issue with that. We already have this level here. No, you race on Yoshi's back. It's very similar to Mario Galaxy, but it also is similar to Mario Bros. 3, so I don't really care. He's a friend. Good dragon. Alright, let's paint the basic scene here, if I want this to work. Basically, I'm thinking you get into this, and it kind of goes in a loop here. Something like so. And right here is a jail cell. And here's the opening to where it... Oh. Maybe here's the opening to where it goes further. And Kamek closes the door here. Or, you know what? The entrance to the cave could be here. And there's a switch here. And you press the switch to open the door. This is Yoshi. Door. Switch. Door. Something like that. So, one press switch, two, door opens, three, be too slow, four, Yoshi, five, right on Yoshi, be fast enough. Something like this is what I'm thinking. This looks like an open toilet from above. That's fucked up to say. All of them direct. None of them really use the performance improvements I do. And then here would be... then right here is like one way. Right, so this way you'd go in here, you'd find the switch, you'd see a cutscene opening the door, you would see the door from here, but you would see that you can't go there. So you would go around here and go around here, and you'd see the door is too fast, and it closes in front of you. You don't even have a chance. And Kamek laughs at you. But then you go here and you free the Super Yoshi. And after the Super Yoshi, you're fast enough. And now you feel powerful. It has the power fantasy feeling. And this whole area here can be the tutorial. Yoshi tutorial. This whole area here is just the Yoshi tutorial. Whole red area. And then afterwards can be the actual level. Procedure is mandatory to access the final area of the overworld, like your NPC. No help you can get, I think. It's possible to do that? Well, it's we already have like different progression gates here. It don't really make sense for the final boss and door to be like that. Seems cheesable. You're looking at this and you already think it's cheesable? You don't do anything yet. Or if the switch won't go in easily, so they sacrifice their car to progress? Which car? Can you give tutorial the time required to make sure the players are really prepared? Well, there is. You have to press the switch and then go to the door fast enough. So you can't just take loops until you're good enough with the Yoshi. In fact, you have to. The race car? You mean the Yoshi? We're not sacrificing the Yoshi. Maybe at the very end, he's like, go on without me. And then this is all like, just go in a straight line, I guess, to the heart of the island. Oh, layout needs to be mirrored, because that's the only way this actually makes sense in the overworld. I think I'm somewhat happy with this plan. What interesting mechanics can we do with the Yoshi? I mean, it's obviously a lot of go fast. We're not doing this. Go fast and dodge Kamek. Is there anything interesting from drill tunnels we could use? The tunnel boring machine? No, we need the tunnel fun machine. Drift controls? Do you think like an actual drifting mechanic could work? I can kind of see how maybe that would be fun. I don't really have an idea of how drifting should be implemented code-wise. But maybe we should just let the player drift. Shit, fuck it, do we give Yoshi drift? Eat this, all jumps. Cards. Or rather Z and R. Well, if we do Z and R to drift, I think that's too complicated actually for the final level. I think it needs to be simpler than that. I think it should be auto drifting. Multiply drifts. Holdings. Like if I automatically drift. So it'd be almost like he's running on ice, like you could run forward and then you could start running to the right, but he'd still go that way because he's drifting. You can see Mark from Prince and bring him back to the start of the room with a fade out animation. That's already how dying works, mostly. She sticks his tongue to the ground and uses this momentum to turn. That's a funny idea, but we don't want to get too complicated here. It's a mechanic you only have for 2 levels. Alright, goodbye directly. Did like in Spyro 1, where when running he's just debris, so it's kind of drift, but not really. Yeah, that's kind of this part here. University said yesterday at work could pass a master thesis topic. Could get my head around what you do. That's funny. I had no idea that someone at a university would talk about my work. That's pretty cool. I think the tunnel should have like a D shape, like so that there's actually something to run on. Tunnel has a D shape. Yeah, I think there's like a good visual for this in Sonic Adventure 2. Part in the tunnel here. Oh, that's not really what I was thinking of, but maybe kind of like this. It's rounded. Oh, more jerky. As bags are coming along, I'm not sure. No, this drift sucks. I'm not talking about the drift. I'm talking about the layout of the stage, the 3D geometry. Just the D shape. Amazing throughout the game that we've tried to stop Bowser but disappeared. Foreshadowing. I think we should foreshadow him somewhat. I'll make a note here. Cold in the islands. Yoshi. Oh, the English Dragon Ball Z is so cringe. Make like the Gloria mini games on Madagascar where you can eat an item to make you faster so you can reach Kamek, so make you super useless Spyro. The Gloria mini games in Madagascar? That's a crazy comparison. For sure, Erland. The question is, how do we make this racing fun now? Because even if you do go fast, would it be fun? Would we just have you catch up to Kamek slowly as you go? Would this be like an infinite racer, basically? We could make this infinite, but... I'm not taking boss fight ideas Mario Start for the 15th time. It was for the NC thinking completely outside the box. Actually, I didn't know about how much benchmarking matters, which is why I brought your work up and I was impressed. Interesting. The T-Rex is not in this level. how much benchmarking matters very much depends on your state of knowledge and how little you want to do. Like, if you want to optimize literally everything, and you know already everything, obviously you don't need to benchmark. But if you know nothing, and you want to optimize as little as possible, and only grab the low-hanging fruits, then you gotta benchmark. The racing actually had a checkered pattern codes. That is a funny idea. For uni professor, benchmarking never matters, which is frustrating. Oh, do they just talk in theoretical big O notation, and like big O notation is the cost, and that's all that matters? Yeah. I mean, big O notation is not really something that matters when you make a game. But if you're handling databases or something, I imagine it's much more important. Even the practical professors? Damn. That's crazy. The town should probably be big, and there need to be places along that... How do you fail? I guess we need to think about that. We could make you fail if you fall too far behind, but that's not fun either. We could make more of these circular areas where you have to press a switch for a door and then go through. Use all the cloud tokens for defining how code needs to be written, but never on writing code. I see what you mean. Is it a race or a chase? It's a chase. Well, we have to switch that opens the door and you go from here. We could just repeat this idea a few times. Have there be another switch that opens the next door here. And then you need to go there fast enough. That might actually be the easiest way to do it. Nasty Gnorc and Spiral. Oh, you're racing him here. That looks pretty cool. Yeah. This is just straightforward. This is so frustrating with the camera, is it not? Does the person playing just kinda suck, or is the camera here really bad? It looks like they can't turn the camera if they're shooting fire. Are they like on the same side of the controller? What? Oh. So besiegen sie Gnasty Gnorc. The same thing. Oh, is that him? Oh, I see. So you race along and you platform a lot of bits. The G is silent. If it's silent, I shouldn't have put it there. Mustn't forget about jumps. I think I like the idea of just keep repeating the door layout. I don't really keep any secrets, Jaixa, but there is a good chance that there's a bunch of things I didn't mention in my videos because they're either too technical or just not relevant in the video. See, if we have another layout with the switch that you have to press and run around. My worry is, what if you get like here and the switch goes back up? You just have to go all the way back to the beginning and do it again. That sounds frustrating. We'll do Whispig. Whispig is insanely difficult, is it not? Yeah, that's an interesting idea, Rookie. I am actually just going to write this down. It's potential ideas. We're green gnomes and Gnorks. I accidentally said Gnork in a meeting and it stuck like that. There you go, so the G is not silent. Gnork. Alternate racing path is also staple of racing games less sections. Yeah, but I think it's unfitting here, thematically. What are you doing here, quick TLDR? We're planning the final Bowser level in this game. We have basically everything except the final few levels planned. We just implemented split screen multiplayer, and we're waiting on a few more level reworks. So all I can really do right now is get started on the final Bowser level. And the layout we're planning right now is you're gonna find a Yoshi in here that you can ride. And you need him to go through the level fast enough to win. But then at the end there's Bowser. Yes. So Bowser in this game, he eats the super happy fruit, or he wants to steal the super happy fruit from the Yoshis. So the finale is he eats it and he turns into Super Happy Bowser. And that's your boss fight. So I kinda want it to be a chase down here. My worry is Kamek gets too far away from you, and then you have to lose somehow like that. Does it just fade out? Kindness. If by kindness you mean fire and ground pounds, yes, kindness. Yeah, just because he's happy doesn't mean he doesn't want to kill, you know? We could just fail the player if they fall too far behind. Or we could make the player start taking damage if they're falling far behind. If was at the same speed of the player, then it's not really you going fast. It's just you going. Yeah, of course, there's gonna be rubber bending. Kamek has to always be ahead of you after all. I'm just thinking about how to best do this in a way where you actually lose by going too slow. We could have this continually go down, and maybe some kind of fog comes in from the top or the bottom. Whatever his Kamek makes or magic he throws at you, or how much he flying around on his broom to hit you, should on a timer of... What? It gets too far. Oh yeah, Kamek could close doors as you go. So like here, here, here. Kind of like Dampy does in Ocarina of Time in the race. The problem with this, again, is you don't see it. So, okay, the doors could close slowly. Yeah, let's do that. There are doors that slowly come down from the ceiling and close. If a door is slowly down, you are out and dice that a large body after. That's how we can do it. Now we just need fun ways to make the racing fun. We should probably program the Yoshi first. Gives us a better idea of what actually works. So to program the Yoshi, we're gonna get started on making a little bit of the level. So Yoshi's not some legendary entity, but with Mark feeding all the power stars to him. That would be fun. He could be powered by the power stars. I haven't really thought about the lore yet. Surely we can all tie it a bit better later. How about this Rayman 2 levels where you're getting chased by Bowser and you see him straight from Bowser's mouth? I know what you mean. But probably no. Not symbols of flame sprays. Yes, we can note that down too. Let's go. Onyx magic. Roll this from the top. Flames coming from the right. Boulders rolling down the shaft, maybe? Dude, who's your barber? My wife is my barber! She fucked me up! She's like, oh, I'm gonna cut your hair. I'm gonna put it to an 11. And then she sets the buzzer to 0 and just cuts it all off. Like, what the fuck? You were gonna put it at 11. Why is my hair gone? You look like military police. Oh my god. You know what, at least this time no one's saying I looked like the bully from Toy Story. It will grow back. Yeah, the hair will grow back, but the pictures of me being bald, they are never gonna disappear. Think about that. You know what the worst part is? This isn't even the first time she's done this to me. She's done this before. Before it was an accident and she only cut like a part of my head bald, so I had like one bald stripe through my hair. No, I'm not anger. I'm all cool with it. She can handle it. That is a crazy thing to say. It's a funny thing to say. I'm not mad. Okay, I gotta fix the overworld part so that we can actually test the level. I'm from in Bavaria. Deine Kopfform kann eine Glatze aushalten? Is that what you would say? Nah. Deine Haben hat un Gas mal für I can't speak Bavaria. Al, your head has good measurements for short hair. I see. Alright, let's add Yoshi to this and make Mario ride them. Trippy? Oh, okay, I don't want a million comments saying Trippy again, so I'm just gonna put up some stupid words here. It's be raceable in different sections of the game. Yeah, he is. There's a different race Yoshi you can ride. I'm getting a headache for some reason. Releasing Yoshi to the docks after Yoshi tells him the ball and save the Yoshis. Like at the very beginning of the game? I don't quite see that. You will be able to do this in multiplayer mode. Super Toady. I'll probably just spawn 2 Super Yoshis then. Hello, Hino Wildborn. Casey Baldur, no! I'm not bald. Yeah, we should have. Wait. Surely there's more to this than that. That's what I thought. It's gotta be like golden. Not really sure how we're gonna do that. I look badass in a buzz cut? Oh no. I guess that's a good thing. This is gonna take a little bit to compile. Luigi written by Yoshi, written by Mario. We're probably going to just spawn a second Super Yoshi in multiplayer mode, and then each person gets one. Okay, that Yoshi is just straight up red. One worry with multiplayer mode I have actually is that you press the switch and then the second player just goes through the door. And you cheese it. Ah, that looks a little more golden. Ba 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 ba. Okay. 6.5. Any of this? Probably change this a little bit. Oh. Maybe not use OBG. Wait on OBG, that's a good one. This should work. Or is it swinging Bowser? No, I would not Wild Dog. I probably have like 65. Wait, this is the right Yoshi animation. Oh my god. Definitely not into it. Next. Tent from above. It is. And if everything works, then Mario will now be sitting on Yoshi when I jump on him. I bounced off him, and that's it. Okay. The radius is definitely too big. The height seems about fine. What do we get here? C40? Oh. That's all we need actually. Not a bit flag, it's just the actual bit. Okay, okay. That's better. I think it's setting the action, but it's not recalling the action properly. Should be an easy fix. Execute moving action. Okay. Did I not put down Ekka and Yoshi here? Huh? I confused myself, I think. Okay, I literally just deleted that, I guess, by accident. Oops. Okay, we are riding Yoshi. Kinda. Kinda doing it. I think the camera will be pretty easy. Okay. I mean, the exact offset doesn't matter right now, but we should program it anyway. Little grind vets? Nope. Alright, we're kinda riding the Yoshi. I just need to program the controls for the Yoshi. And we need animations for the Yoshi. But that shouldn't be an issue. I think we're getting there. But you know what? That's for another day. Yes, we've been streaming for 2 hours. And I'm feeling pretty exhausted. So, I will see you guys in the next stream, where hopefully we finish... Well, we're not gonna finish anything. But we're gonna start working on the Yoshi ride. We might be working on one of the Biowag reworks, depending on whether he's done. Until then, bye bye!